I'm in my boxers and yesterday's t-shirt, leaning against the counter while the coffee maker coughs up another tired stream. Across the island, Sierra is polishing herself into corporate armour, hair straight, blazer sharp, lips lined with that shade she saves for boardrooms. "Did you transfer the money for Zadie's SAT prep, Maceo?" she asks, thumbs never pausing on her phone. I set my jaw. "It's Mace. You've called me that for 19 years, Sierra. Not Maceo. Not Mason. Just Mace." She doesn't even look up. Not now. I pour into my favourite chipped mug, the one that says "World's Okayest Dad." The crack in the handle fits my thumb like it grew there. "Yeah, I sent it. $500 so our daughter can suffer through standardized torture." Sierra finally lifts her eyes, all polished PR shine. 39, still gorgeous in that curated way that eats 2 hours of her morning. Don't be dramatic, she needs those scores. She pours the fancy beans into her tumbler, the ones that cost like rent money, and adds, "I've got a client dinner tonight, so I'll be late." I sip, watch her over the rim. Client dinner. Right. Trent gonna be there? Something flickers across her face, gone fast. "He's the regional director, Mace. Of course, it's a team event." "Mace," I correct again, softer, and let it sit. Zadie drifts in, 17, ponytail swinging, backpack like a boulder. She kisses my cheek. "Morning, Dad. Mum, can I borrow your car tonight? Jess is hosting our history group." "Take your father's," Sierra says, scrolling again. "I might need mine later." "For that dinner that ends at 9? I ask. "Or the after party?" Her jaw tightens. Sometimes these things run long. Networking is part of the job. I drain half the mug. "Well, network responsibly." Quinn staggers in, 14, headphones slung around his neck like a chain, eyes still half asleep. "Dad, can you drive me? Mum's car smells like that new perfume." "It's Tom Ford," Sierra snaps. "And it was expensive." "Still smells like a strip club," Quinn says flatly. I choke a laugh. "How you know what a strip club smells like?" "Call of Duty," he shrugs. "They got a map." I can't stop grinning. Even Sierra has no comeback for that. The kids scatter, the house shrinks. Sierra's still glued to her phone, nails tapping code I can't crack. "Busy morning?" I ask. "Always. Trent's nervous about the Hartwell account, wants me to rehearse the pitch." "Big deal," I nod. "Could mean promotions." "For both of us." She looks at me. For 1 second, something guilty ripples in her eyes, but irritation quickly covers it. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing, just good teamwork." She kisses my cheek like signing a receipt, grabs her purse, and disappears into the garage. Door rumbles, perfume lingers, silence moves in. I scroll to the only contact who won't lie to me. Langston, my brother, ex-cop, knee shot, instincts still sharp. He answers on the second ring. "It's 8 a.m, man. Somebody better be dead or on fire." "Morning to you too," I say. Question. Hypothetically, your wife starts wearing expensive perfume, stays out late at client dinners, texts some male colleague non-stop. Professional opinion? There's a pause, long and heavy. Then his voice, low and certain. "Hypothetically, that wife's probably sleeping with her hypothetical colleague." And just like that, the drip of coffee sounds louder than everything else in the room. At work the next morning, I'm sitting at my desk staring at a catalogue of high-end furniture like it's written in another language. My screen glows, but nothing sticks. Chair designs blur, invoices swim, phone hums. Everything feels like background noise compared to the perfume still stuck in my nose and the way Sierra's smile twitched when I mentioned Trent. The office coffee grinder kicks on down the hall, loud, harsh, drowning out the thoughts I keep trying to push away. But truth doesn't get drowned. It grinds louder. A soft knock on my doorframe. "Mace?" It's Noelle, HR manager. Sharp eyes, cool voice. She steps in, closes the door like she's shutting out the whole world. "You've seemed off lately. Distracted." "I'm fine," I say too quickly. "Kids, bills, same old." She studies me. Noelle's the kind who notices when your shirt is wrinkled, or when you skipped a shave. She leans forward, lowers her voice. "My sister works in accounting over at Fluxion Labs." The name alone tightens something in my chest. "And she mentioned something, said she's seen Sierra at certain events with Trent Marlowe." I sit back. "Events?" "Not the kind accounting staff get invited to. Private dinners, weekend retreats that aren't on any official calendar. Her words hang in the room like smoke. I force a laugh that sounds like a cough. Come on, office gossip. People see two colleagues together and make it into a story. Sierra's in PR, Trent's a director. Of course they're seen together. Noelle doesn't blink. Maybe, but my sister swears it didn't look like just business. I rub my face, palms rough against the stubble. My voice comes out hard. I'm not basing my marriage on somebody's gossip. I need facts, proof, otherwise it's just noise. She nods, though her eyes say she already knows the answer I'm afraid of. Just be careful, Mace. Sometimes noise is warning before the fire. After she leaves, I sit there with the hum of the office pressing in. The grinder starts again, chewing beans into dust, and the sound feels like it's chewing me up too. My gut twists. My mind wants to dismiss it, but the little pieces keep lining up. The perfume, the late nights, the way she said his name with a softness she doesn't give me anymore. By evening, I'm back home, pretending to help Quinn with his algebra while Zadie scrolls TikTok across the table. Sierra's upstairs, catching up on emails. My phone buzzes in my pocket. A text from Langston. You sure you want to know? I stare at it for a long minute before typing back. Yeah, I'm sure. 15 minutes later, my phone rings. My brother's voice is low, steady, the way it gets when he's not joking. Grand View Hotel, he says. Room 4 to 12. Porsche Marlowe parked out front. That's your boy. The line goes quiet except for my own breath, and suddenly the noise in my head isn't just loud, it's deafening. Saturday afternoon, Langston shows up at my house carrying a manila envelope like it's a loaded gun. He doesn't knock, just pushes the door open with his shoulder and drops it on my kitchen table. You sure you want to open that, brother? He asks, eyes steady on me. I stare at it, heart beating too fast for a man who's supposed to be calm. I asked for it. Yeah, he says, but asking and being ready ain't the same thing. I pull the flap open anyway. Out spills the kind of truth you can't shove back inside. First photo, Sierra in a restaurant booth, candlelight bouncing off her eyes. Trent across from her, leaning in too close, grinning like he's already won. Her hand on his wrist. A touch so casual it screams intimacy. Second photo, hotel parking garage. His hand on the small of her back, steering her toward the elevator. They're laughing like teenagers sneaking out past curfew. Third photo, weekend retreat 2 hours outside the city. Their luggage rolling side by side, matching, smiles plastered on their faces, receipts stapled together, dinners at places I can't afford to drive past, jewellery stores with price tags I can't pronounce, hotel check-ins, weekend charges, gas station stops along the highway that match the dates she told me she was working late. My stomach flips. I feel it rise, like I could puke coffee and rage all over the table. It's not just the betrayal. It's how damn happy she looks. Her face lit up with a glow I haven't seen in years, in Sahor, like she saved her real joy for him and left me the leftovers. Langston slides another sheet across the table. Timeline. I mapped it against her work records. I scan it. My chest tightens. The affair doesn't just match the promotion, it is the promotion. 3 months ago, Sierra jumped from senior coordinator to director, out of nowhere. That's the exact same week the hotel receipts start. The same week she stopped complaining about her job. I gripped the edge of the table. So he promoted her, bought her dinners, gave her the perks. In exchange for what? Langston leans back, arms crossed. You don't need me to spell that out. I flip through the photos again, one by one. Sierra smiling, Sierra leaning in close, Sierra kissing him in a parking lot I don't recognize. Each picture feels heavier than the last. My hand shakes just enough for the images to blur. I almost wish they would blur forever. I hate how she looks in these, I whisper. Langston tilts his head. She looks happy. That's the problem. The envelope lies open on the table like a crime scene. My marriage, documented in receipts and pixels. Langston finally speaks, voice low. So what's the move, Mace? You confront her, oil her up, or you want to burn it all down? I shake my head. My thoughts are clearer now, sharper than they've been in weeks. Not yet. Not her first. His brow furrows. Then who? I close the envelope, press it flat with my palm. My voice comes out calm, but it feels like a blade. Sloane, his wife, she's going to tell the truth before Sierra ever will. The silence after that hangs heavy. like both of us know we just crossed a line we can't come back from. The coffee shop is one of those quiet, overpriced places where everybody talks low so they can hear themselves think. I get there early, sit in the corner with my chipped mug, brought it on purpose, needed the reminder of who I am, and wait. She arrives on time, not flashy, not loud. Sloane Calder's elegance that's tired around the edges. Slim frame wrapped in a trench coat, dark sunglasses she takes off like their armour. She spots me, crosses the room and sits without hesitation. No fear, no shame, just a woman who already knows half the story. "You're Nathan Brooks," she says softly. "Mace," I correct. "But yeah, thanks for meeting me." Her eyes flick to the manila envelope on the table. "That it?" I push it toward her. My fingers don't want to let go. She opens it, steady hands sliding out photos, receipts, timelines. Page after page, no blink, no gasp. She scans like she's grading a test she's already taken. When she finally sets it down, she exhales through her nose. "He's done it again." My chest tightens. "Again?" "This isn't new, Mr. Brooke. You're not the first husband, and I'm not the first wife." Her voice is calm, clinical, like she's discussing the weather. But I see the way her hand trembles when she reaches for her coffee. "He finds women at work," she continues, "usually married, usually vulnerable, promises opportunity, whispers about promotions, buys them gifts. Then when he gets bored, he moves on, leaves wreckage behind." I swallow hard. "How many times?" "That I know of? 2, probably more." It's like the floor shifts under me. My anger tilts. Sierra didn't just betray me, she got played, used, a piece in his pattern. It doesn't make the knife in my gut feel better, but it twists it differently. "So, what's your plan?" I ask. Sloane takes a small, deliberate sip, then sets her cup down with precision. "Lawyers, corporate compliance. My attorney already drafted papers. I'll file for divorce this week, and I'll make sure Fluxion knows exactly what kind of liability Trent represents. They hate scandal more than anything." Her calm scares me more than rage would have. Rage burns out. Calm builds strategy. "You're going nuclear," I say quietly. She meets my eyes steady and unblinking. "He made the mess. I'll make sure everyone sees it. Don't mistake my silence for weakness, Mr. Brooks. I've been waiting for proof. Now I have it." The envelope lies between us, no longer mine. Part of me feels lighter. Part of me feels like I just loaded a gun and handed it to someone who knows how to aim. When we part, she thanks me. Genuine, but clipped. No hug, no lingering. Just 2 people tied together by betrayal, walking away in opposite directions. That night, back home, Sierra breezes through the door like nothing's cracked. She's carrying takeout, dressed in a new black dress stitched tight in all the places meant to catch a man's eye. Lace detail, high heels, perfume so heavy it stings. "Girls' night," she says, smile painted on. "Don't wait up." I stare at her, the lie hanging in the air, thicker than the scent she sprayed on herself. First time she doesn't even bother to camouflage it, and I realise the game's not whether she's lying. The game is how long I'll let her keep doing it. Langston calls me from his patrol of the morning, voice low, no jokes. "It wasn't Meridian," he says straight away. "It's Grand View, Porsche Marlowe out front, room 412. My stomach drops like someone cut the rope under me. Meridian was the alibi she texted. Grand View is the one my brother's buddy works security at. Different vibe, different smell, same Mario. I tell Quinn I'm running an errand, grab my keys and drive. The city moves slow when you're watching for one face, lights drag, stop signs feel personal. I park a block away, leave the engine running like I'm ready to flee, and walk toward the hotel like I'm on a mission I can't turn back from. Through the Grand View's lobby glass, everything looks glossy and expensive. People who belong to the 5th floor float by with ease. I keep my head down, but my camera app is open, ready, fingers poised like a trigger. I know how to be invisible when I need to be. There they are, through the restaurant window, dining under soft light, their table tucked in a corner like it was staged for secrecy. Sierra laughs at something Trent says, hand on his forearm. He leans in, all confidence and slow charm as if the world owes him favours. Sierra's shoulders are relaxed in a way she's stopped being with me. The sight clamps down on my chest with a cold hand. I raise the phone and take the shot. 1 click. It feels obscene, like I'm stealing an intimate thing and turning it into evidence. I take another, close-ups, wider angles, every frame a little coffin for what we were. I can't stop, the flash is off, I don't want a scene. I'm a ghost with a camera. Langston texts, "Got eyes on the car, you good?" Me. Yeah, I'm good. Langston, you sure? Me. No. But I'm here. The photos don't make it easier. They make it more real. Her laugh in pixel form. His hand where it shouldn't be. Their smiles, so careless, so unbothered. I feel sick, not from the sight, but from how ordinary it looks. Like people who get away with cheating have learned to make infidelity look like normal life. My phone buzzes with Noelle's name. She's the calm in my HR storm, the one who noticed me fraying before anyone else did. I answer, voice tighter than I want. "I saw the way you looked at me yesterday," she says. "You're running on fumes." "I'm fine," I lie. Then I tell her where I am. Grand view by the window. Watching a life I thought was mine fold up like a cheap suit. There's a pause. Her next words are flat and practiced. "If somebody you trusted betrayed you, make sure they meet the consequences. Don't let them think they can walk away." I breathe in. "What's the move? No theatrics that'll hurt the kids," she says. "Get facts, then make it count. You want them to remember the lesson, not the scene." She sounds like she's talking about policy, but I hear something colder. Calculation. Noelle's been this close to worse before. She knows how people fall apart and she knows how to put the pieces back so they hurt the one who started the damage. "You got me," I tell her. "Thanks." I hang up and look at the last photo I took. Sierra's laugh is frozen mid-arc. Trent's eyes are just that, two little planets orbiting his own orbit. I can feel the cord in my chest tighten, the choice forming like a scar ready to be made. Langston's voice on the phone is a whisper of certainty. "You ready?" he asks. I stare at the image one more time, then the room, then the street. My hand is steady now. My answer is too. "Ready," I say. He pauses for half a breath. Then, "All right, let's start the engine." The chain begins to move. Monday morning turns into a stage play I didn't buy tickets for. Fluxion labs, glass walls, chrome elevators, the whole We're the Future aesthetic suddenly has a new show running, and the star is none other than Trent Marlowe. I'm not there, but Langston's buddy feeds me details, and by noon the story's everywhere. Picture this, Trent strutting down the hall, smile cocked, suit tight, colleagues trailing in his wake like he's running a parade. Then a courier cuts through the crowd, envelope in hand, voice carrying over the hum of keyboards. Mr. Marlowe?" Trent takes it, half distracted, opens it, reads one line. His whole expression drops out of his face. Divorce papers, filed, from Sloane, his elegant wife with tired eyes. The words hang into the air. Alienation of affection, misconduct, pattern of workplace exploitation. Every pair of eyes in that open-plan office snaps to him. Conversations cut mid-sentence. Someone coughs, someone else whispers. You can feel the crack in the air even if you're not there. By 2 p.m, he's temporarily relieved of duties pending review, which, in corporate language, means sit at home and wait for the guillotine to drop. And then Maria, Noelle's sister, the accountant who's been watching from the sidelines, sends a company-wide email that nobody will ever forget. It's short. Too short to be gossip, too sharp to be rumour. Reminder, Fluxion maintains a strict policy on relationships between supervisors and direct reports. Violations jeopardise not only careers, but also the integrity of our workplace. Compliance matters. Protect yourselves, protect the company, no names mentioned. But the subtext screamed louder than the coffee grinder. Screenshots of the email bounce through Slack channels, text threads, private group chats. Outside the building, it starts leaking online. By evening, Trent Marlowe is no longer just a regional director. He's a headline. And Sierra? She comes home that night with mascara streaked, clutching a bag of takeout like it's proof of innocence. She drops it on the counter, doesn't even look at me at first. Then the tears spill. They're saying things, Mace. Lies. It's not true. Her voice is shaking, her hands gripping the countertop so hard I can see her knuckles whiten. I take a slow step closer, catch the faint trace of cologne clinging to her blouse. Not her perfume, his, sharp, expensive, the kind that lingers. Lies, huh? I say, quiet but cutting. She nods frantically, eyes wet, desperate. You have to believe me, it's all lies. I lean back, fold my arms. Then tell me, Sierra, why do you smell like his cologne? The kitchen goes silent, and for the first time she has no words. I sit her down at the kitchen table like it's a deposition. The house is quiet, kids at school, the dishwasher humming like it's the only thing that still believes in routine. The manila envelope is open between us, photos splayed like evidence in a bad TV show. I pull out the one I took in the garage, the grainy shot through the tinted glass. Sierra stepping into a Porsche, Trent's hand at the small of her back. Faces turned toward each other like they're sharing a joke no one else is in on. She sees the photo and for a moment the room rearranges itself. Her breath catches. Her mouth opens, closes. I watch the actress I've loved for 19 years lose her script. You took this, she whispers, like the word is a heat that will burn through paper. I did, I say. Took it tonight. Through the window. No flash. Quiet. Real. My voice is level, but there's an edge under it I can't hide. Like metal under velvet. She closes her eyes for a second, then nods, tiny like a guilty child. Okay, she says. Okay. The syllables drag. It's real. Then tell me, I say. How long? She folds her hands together on the table, fingers working a nervous rhythm. 3, maybe 4 months. The number lands between us and makes a sound like glass. 3 months, 4 months. My brain tries to count back, days missed, excuses given, nights she said she was on calls. The timeline smacks up against promotions, against new clothes, against the way she started holding herself like someone who learned to expect applause. Why? I ask, simpler than I mean to be. Why him? She looks up at me with those big eyes of hers, eyes I used to read like a map. I thought it was real, she says, voice torn. I thought it was love. He said it was more than the office, and he said I deserved better, that he saw me. It felt different from you, Mace. He told me things I wanted to hear. My mouth goes dry. He told you he wanted you enough to leave, or he said you were a distraction when things got real? The memory of Noelle's words, Sloane's calm, the receipts, the hotel keys, everything sharpens into a single outline. Sierra's face crumples. At first he said it was special. Then, after a while, he called it a distraction, told me not to take it too seriously. Said he wasn't the marrying type, but I wanted to believe him. I wanted to feel that alive again. There it is. The old human truth, wanting to be wanted. It doesn't excuse her. It explains the way a person can make choices that look like stupidity from the outside and like salvation from the inside. Do you love him? The question comes out soft, almost stupid. She presses her palms to her eyes like trying to hold back the tide. I thought I did, but he told me it was a fling. He said not to start making plans. I felt humiliated when I learnt the truth. I was used. The knife twists differently now, not only betrayal, but humiliation. She wasn't the winner, she was collateral. I could reach across that table. I could cup her face, whisper the old promises we used to mean. I could be the man who soothes, who forgives, who patches the thing that's torn. For a second, I see the memory of us. Lighter, younger, still laughing at dumb jokes. My hand lifts, then drops. I know what forgiveness looks like on the outside of a wound. It often means you swallow the thing that will kill you slow. No, I say, because I mean it before I can weigh it. I can't be the one to fix what you broke by lying. She starts to plead. Give me a chance, I'll quit the job, I'll go to counselling, I cut her off, not sharp, not cruel, just set. Chance isn't what this is about. I lean in and the paper photo between us a small altar to honesty. Punishment ain't revenge, Sierra, it's consequences. You chose. Now the rest of this is what happens next. She looks up, throat working like she's trying to swallow a whole new life. The kitchen clock ticks. Outside of the car passes, oblivious. And if you think apologies will make it disappear, I say quietly, you're wrong. But I'll also tell you this. I'm not here to humiliate you. I'm here to make sure the truth has weight. That's all. She reaches for the photo like it's the last thread to hold on to. I let her touch it, then pull it back. She pleads for a chance again, softer, raw. Please, don't end us like this. Not everything has to be the worst. I study her face, sickened, sorry, scared. An answer like a verdict and like a promise. Not punishment for punishment's sake, I say, but consequences, not revenge, consequences. By midweek, the quiet storm turns loud. News trickles faster than water through a busted pipe. First it's whispers at Fluxion, then it's a neighbour sharing concern. By Thursday, it's full-blown headlines on niche blogs, screenshots on Twitter, TikTok commentary with shaky voiceovers. Somebody posts grainy lobby footage, Sierra brushing shoulders with Trent near the elevator, the two of them stepping into a hallway with smiles you can't mistake for work. A TikTok voice says, "See, watch her hand, it lingers, PR director vibes but not very professional." Overlaid text, corporate Barbie and her boss. It racks up 50,000 views overnight. Doorbell cameras around our cul-de-sac catch her coming home late, heels in hand, fumbling with her keys. Neighbours share clips in group chats with captions like, "She's going through it or you'll seen this." My phone keeps buzzing with accidental forwards from people who think they're subtle. By Friday morning, the story isn't just about Trent. It's about Sierra. She's the other woman, the narrative bent whichever way strangers want. That night, I call the kids into the living room. No takeout, no TV, just us. Zadie drops onto the couch, arms crossed, suspicious already. Quinn keeps his headset on, dangling around his neck, eyes darting like he'd rather be anywhere else. I clear my throat. We need to talk, straight, no spin. Sierra's upstairs, door closed, avoiding this part. So it's me who says the word. Divorce. It hangs in the air heavier than anything I've ever said. Zadie blinks hard. "You're serious, sis?" Quinn frowns, tries to play it cool, but his voice cracks. "So, what happens now?" "We're gonna be okay," I tell them. My voice is steady because it has to be. "You'll stay here. Same school, same rooms. Mum and I, different lives. But nothing changes about me being your dad. That's permanent." Zadie looks down at her hands, a shine in her eyes she doesn't want me to see. Quinn nods too fast, like agreeing will keep the ground under his feet. Afterward, the house feels smaller. The word divorce lingers in the corners like smoke. Saturday, a neighbour knocks. Mrs. Henderson from across the street, casserole dish in hand. The top is still warm, cheese bubbling. She hands it over with this kind of smile that's all pity and no kindness. "Such a shame," she says, eyes wide like she's watching daytime TV. "Sierra always seemed so put together." I thank her, set the dish on the counter, and try not to laugh at the garnish of judgment she sprinkled on top. Even lasagna carries gossip now. That evening I check my email. A new message sits in my inbox, from a law firm whose name I don't recognise. I open it, and the words jump off the screen. Calder v. Brooks. Plaintiff, Sloane Calder, cause alienation of affection. Damages sought, $2,000, $2 million. I sit back staring at the number like it's a foreign language. The dominoes aren't just falling, they're crushing everything in their path. And Sierra? She doesn't even know the next piece is already tipped. Monday morning, Sierra walks into Fluxion with her head high, makeup sharp. Heels clicking like nothing's broken. By lunchtime, she's back in her car staring at a letter that ends 19 years of corporate climbing. Termination of employment. Grounds, violation of workplace relationship policy. Effective immediately. The paper doesn't mention Trent by name, but it doesn't have to. Everybody in that glass palace already knows. By the time she comes home, the news is already on my phone. A company press release goes live, clean legal, sterile. Fluxion does not tolerate inappropriate relationships between supervisors and subordinates. Her director title stripped away, her options frozen, severance denied. Those stock grants she used to brag about, the ones she swore would set us up if anything went wrong, gone. With them, her last piece of leverage in the divorce. She drops the letter on the counter like it's hot, leans against the fridge, eyes shiny but refusing to spill. "They can't do this," she whispers. "They just did," I answer. For a long beat, we both stand there, kitchen clock ticking between us. I don't gloat, I don't comfort, I just watch the math of her decision add up in front of her. That night, I call the kids into the living room again. Sierra tries to speak, but I hold a hand up. "No, let me." I tell them the truth. No gossip, no tabloids. Their mum lost her job. For now, they'll stay with me. "Stability matters more than anything right now," I say, voice steady. You don't need to move schools or pack bags every week. You need normal. Zadie nods, relief visible in her shoulders. Quinn shrugs, pretending he doesn't care. But the way he leans against me says otherwise. Sierra just watches, quiet, her jaw tight. Later that night, when the kids are upstairs, I scroll my phone. Twitter's feeding frenzy hasn't slowed, it's shifted. New screenshots, new whispers. Turns out Trent's history is longer than anyone guessed. 2 other women, both former employees, both had mentorship dinners that turned into hotel bills. Their stories resurface online, stitched together with Sierra's name in bold. This isn't nuclear anymore. It's ash. Smoke blowing in every direction, sticking to everyone who stood too close. I set my phone down, pour a glass of water, and sit in the dark kitchen. The fire's already burned through. What's left now is ruin, and the slow work of sorting what can be rebuilt. By the end of the week, Sierra packs 2 suitcases and heads to her mother's. No big fight, no slammed doors, just silence heavy enough to press down on the walls. She kisses the kids quick, avoids my eyes, and drives away. The sound of her car pulling off is the first exhale this house has had in months. For the first time in a long while, dinner feels human again. Quinn cracks dumb jokes over spaghetti, not like a shield, but like he's actually trying to make us laugh. If algebra had DLCs, I'd buy the skip boss level, he says, and Zadie nearly chokes on her water. We laugh together, not nervously, not like we're waiting for a fight, but like a family that's finding its rhythm again. Zadie gets her first college envelopes in the mail, thick ones. She spreads them out on the table like tarot cards, her face glowing with a mix of pride and fear. "Dad, what if I don't choose right?" she asks. I put my hand on hers. Right isn't one school. Right is you. Wherever you go, you'll be right. For the first time since this mess started, I see her shoulders ease. Quinn too starts showing up different. Less locked in his room, more at the table, talking trash about debate club like it's a sport. "I roasted a junior so bad today he left the room. Dad, I might be a problem." He grins, and I grin back. The kid's found his lane. As for me, I start meeting Noelle for coffee on Fridays. Not at work, not in whispers, just 2 adults in a cafe, cups steaming, walls down. She doesn't prod, doesn't pity. She asks how I'm really sleeping, if the kids are okay, if I'm eating actual food instead of cereal 3 times a day. I tell her the truth. No masks. It feels strange. Like I forgot what honesty across a table sounds like. The house is quieter now, yeah. But it's not empty. The absence of drama is its own kind of music. I didn't realise how loud the lies were until they stopped. Late one night, I'm washing dishes when my phone buzzes, Langston's name. I dry my hands, pick up. His voice is low, steady, the same tone he used when he told me about the Grandview. "You might want to sit down, Mace." "What now?" "Trent's money trail," he says. "It's got holes. Big ones. IRS size. The feds don't like holes." I glance out the kitchen window into the quiet street, dish towel still in my hand. For the first time, it isn't just about Sierra anymore. The dominoes are still falling, and now they're aimed at him. She asks me to meet her at a coffee shop on the edge of town. Neutral ground. I almost don't go, but curiosity is a stubborn thing. She's already there when I arrive, seated by the window, hands wrapped tight around a cup that's gone cold. No makeup this time, just tired eyes and a blouse that's been pressed too many times to hide the wear. "Mace," she starts, voice shaky but rehearsed. "I've been thinking. Maybe we don't have to end it this way. We could start fresh. Split things down the middle. The house, the savings, custody, 50-50, fair." I could sip my coffee, let the bitterness sit on my tongue. "Fair? After 4 months of hotel receipts and a termination letter with your name on it?" She flinches but doesn't break eye contact. "I'm saying let's not destroy each other. We can be civil. For the kids." I lean forward, set my cup down with a deliberate thud. Civil means truth. And truth is, Sierra, you don't get half. You get the chance to keep something. Here's the deal. Full custody stays with me. No alimony, no property claims. And one more thing, you put it in writing. A public apology to Sloane Calder and her kids. Not me. Them. Because they didn't deserve what you helped take apart. Her face drains. That's humiliating. "No," I say quietly. "That's consequences." Punishment would be me dragging every receipt, every photo into court. I'm giving you an off-ramp. She looks down, fingers trembling on the cup. The silence stretches so long I start to think she'll walk out. Then she exhales, shoulders collapsing. Fine, she whispers. I'll sign. The papers are ready in my bag. My brother's lawyer drew them up. She signs each page, pen scratching like a nail on wood. By the time she hands them back, her hand is shaking. 2 weeks later, the apology letter runs in the local paper and online. Full page. Sierra Brooks. Acknowledgement of her actions, responsibility for the damage, and a direct apology to the Calder family. No spin, no excuses, just black text on white space. The same day, another headline drops. Former regional director sentenced. 3 years federal time for tax evasion. Trent Marlowe, the man who thought he was untouchable, stands in a courtroom as the gavel comes down. For once, there was no spin, no rumour, no denial. Just the hard edge of judgment. And for the first time in months, I feel like the storm's finally burning itself out. 6 months roll by, the kind of months that feel like whole years when you're measuring in silence instead of noise. The house has changed. Not its walls, not its furniture, but its weight. Lighter now. The air doesn't carry perfume that isn't mine, or tension that makes dinner taste bitter. I sit out on the back porch one evening, cold beer sweating in my hand, sunset leaking orange over the fences. The kids are inside, music drifting through the windows. I lift the bottle a little, not to anyone in particular, and murmur, "To lessons, not to wounds," is the closest I'll get to a prayer. Zadie's already got her scholarship letter framed on her wall, full tuition and a stipend that made her cry when she opened it. She pretends she's too cool to show off, but I catch her rereading it sometimes, eyes soft. College tours line the calendar. She's stepping into her future with both feet. Quinn's made himself a name at debate club. The same brutal honesty that once embarrassed him now gets applause. He comes home hoarse from arguing kids twice his size, proud smirk plastered on his face. "Dad, I killed it tonight." They had no counter. He's learning words can be weapons, but also bridges. Yara sees them every other weekend, just like the papers say. No theatrics, no tears on the porch, no mascara-streaked breakdowns. She picks them up, drops them off, keeps it polite. The kids don't come back shaken or carrying secrets. It's manageable. She's learning boundaries the hard way, but she's learning. As for me, I've been learning too. Noelle and I finally crossed the line from Friday coffees to Friday dinner. Not hidden in the corner of a cafe, but out in the open, restaurant table between us. Both of us unarmoured. She's sharp, she's funny, she's not afraid to call me out when I start slipping into self-pity. It's not fireworks, it's steady warmth. After what I've lived through, that feels better than fireworks. Here's what I've come to understand. Love isn't an accident, not some lightning strike that burns hot and fast. It's a choice you make every day. Same as setting boundaries. Same as saying no when someone thinks they can treat you as optional. I didn't destroy Sierra's life. I didn't torch Trent's career. They did that with their own hands. All I did was stop them from dragging me and my kids down with them. That's not revenge. That's order. That's consequence. The porch is quiet. The beer's almost gone, the night's settling in. I lean back in my chair, stretch my legs, and let myself breathe deep. For the first time in a long while, peace doesn't feel borrowed. It feels earned.